If you're planning on mastering Lilith, get ready to put in a lot of work. Although Lilith is regarded as one of the weaker characters, she's still scary in her own right, and can definitely hang with characters regarded as the strongest amongst the cast. I'll help get the ball rolling on what you should be looking into to maximize Lilith. Lilith's movement is both limited and great at the same time. When compared to Morrigan, it's limited in that her dash keeps her on the ground, which makes her mix-up game almost non-existent. Instead of that, however, she's allowed to dash and attack while applying pressure with some of her attacks that leave her advantageous on block or hit. This really helps to set up situations where you can throw the opponent after they block your attack, but they're not quite sure when they can press a button. Lilith's movement is also great due to her super jump. With this, she's able to cover about half the screen in one fell swoop. Performed by pressing down, then up forward, or up back, Lilith can chase opponents down or get away really quickly. Another great thing about this is that she will automatically turn her attacks around if she goes over the opponent, making it that much harder for them to block. A lot of Lilith's attacks leave her at a pretty good advantage. With that being said, the attacks that are pretty good to use would be her standing light punch, standing light kick, crouching light punch, and crouching light kick. These are good to start your combos with when in close, as they are easy to confirm into chains, which can then lead into a knockdown or to luminous illusion. Her best pokes for dash pressuring are her stand middle punch, as this can be cancelled into her fireball, which, besides being hard to get around, can lead into more pressure, and her standing middle kick, which can be used to confuse opponents on their wake up or lead into luminous illusion off of a random hit. Her other buttons have their uses as well, but they are nowhere near as good, so start with these and work your way to the others. If you decide to take to the air, you should always super jump. This arc that she moves in will be difficult for the opponent to match, and her attacks automatically turn around in the air, meaning that you will more than likely hit the mark. You can also use the opponent's air blocking to your advantage by super jumping, hitting an air chain, and then going into luminous illusion when they try to strike back. The attacks that you should use are her jumping light punch, jumping middle kick, and jumping hard punch. Whenever you start a super jump, always jump with the jumping light punch, as this will cause the opponent to stop moving due to them going into block animation, or if inputted too fast, will result in a low air fireball coming out, which is good in its own right, and come down with the jumping middle kick or jumping hard punch, as that can hit on both sides, creating an easily confirmable situation. Lilith's special moves consist of a command grab, anti-air uppercut, a spinning attack, and a fireball. I'll save you time by telling you to avoid using the command grab due to its long startup, including a hop which will catch no one by surprise, the spinning move as it doesn't do much damage and is extremely punishable regardless of which strength is used, and to use her uppercut sparingly as it can be beat out by a lot of attacks, and if it's air blocked, you face being punished. Getting those out of the way, let's concentrate on her fireball, which is paramount to her offense and surprisingly defensive game as well. Lilith's fireball moves slowly in front of her, acting as a shield and also as a way to keep the opponents in place. Using this after a standing middle punch is a good way to keep up the pressure and provide positioning for a super jump. If you do the fireball slightly off the ground, performed as down, down forward, forward, up forward, and punch, it will make jumping opponents have to work that much harder to attack from above, forcing them to fight you on the ground. Lilith has 3 EX specials. Splendor Love is an upward moving super that hits about 7 times. Although decent at combos, its usefulness is limited and should be used sparingly. Her second EX special is Gloomy Puppet Show. One of the few EX specials that takes 2 meters, it's rather tricky to hit this and to maximize damage. I say to avoid its use unless you want it to show off. Finally, there's her Luminous Illusion, by far her most useful EX special. Performed as standing light punch, forward direction, standing light kick, standing hard punch, this is the only EX special that can be cancelled from chain combos. This can also be performed in the air as mentioned earlier. To truly be proficient with Lilith, you'll have to learn how to do this off of any attack, otherwise her effectiveness would drop by at least 50%. Also be sure that you're performing each button or move one after the other cleanly, otherwise Luminous Illusion won't come out. Lilith has 2 versions of her Dark Force. If activated with the light buttons or medium buttons, she calls a Shadow who performs whichever attack Lilith did 1 second after her. This is ideal for defensive purposes, as the initial startup of Dark Force is invincible, and the Shadow can keep the opponent away while you gain back life while they're blocking. The other version, activated by hitting 2 attack buttons, causes a Shadow to get behind the opponent and do the same attack as Lilith, but only when she is close to the opponent. This is ideal for damage, but due to the recovery of the Dark Force attack, I'd really recommend not using it. The topics touched on this video should help you form the base of your strategy with Lilith. Of course, upon experimenting with her, you may find some attacks not mentioned here favorable, to which I say go ahead and add them to your arsenal. You will have to train to be able to land Luminous Illusion off errant hits, but that's the fun in learning the more difficult characters. This is Peter, Common Rosa signing off. Thanks again for tuning in, and also special shoutouts to Rob Holzinger and Sean Hengchua. Thanks for the information, guys.